We're heading into Act 1, The Ties That Bind. Nice stock subtitle, well suited to the very stock main title of this game. Heroes and villains alike rally to challenge fate. The world wearies of endless bloodshed. Mankind strives to band together, but can human ignorance and lust for war and battle ever be abolished? Very thoughtful words. So, our main story takes place 300 years after the Commonwealth was formed that Prince Gerard Valtimond did. So I'm not exactly sure when the journeyman scene happened there in relation to this. The game didn't tell us. I assume it's in the past. I assume it's sometime between the Commonwealth thing and the main game. Although I think actually, hold that thought, because later in the game I believe we do get a chance to find out when that happened. So, never mind. Now it's time to meet the real main character of Love and War Act 1. Pretty sure there probably should have been a voice there too, but oh well, it's Ryan Eremond. Fine young 18-year-old fellow that's just finished high school, and the world is at his fingertips, and the world is at his fingertips. What's he going to do with his life, folks? Well, before that, we're going to be told rather abruptly about the fact that he uses guns. Another addition to the 2012 updated version. I guess we have to get told that at some point. There's Ryan. And there's the skill menu. You can see a nicely hand-drawn portrait of Ryan there made for this game. Not sure if the Admiral made these drawings himself or if some fine person did that wasn't the Admiral. And let's examine all the objects. Ryan has a lot to say about the stuff that he looks at. Armament. There's a name to remember. Well, let's see what Armin's tacky looking book has to say about love. A field of corn. Can't say I've ever heard of love being compared to a field of corn. But, alright. Why not? Sure. So how do we attract the girls? Man, what is this? A certain other RPG Maker 2000 game? Oh, don't be silly. I mean, it is called Love and War after all, but not going to be doing any romancing in this game. But Ryan's not impressed by this book. Although Ryan says that book doesn't tell him anything he didn't know already. Personally, I didn't know that every single problem that a girl ever has can be fixed by candy and flowers. So I guess I learned an important lesson from that one. Maybe that's why I got divorced as an 11-year-old. Oh dear. Well, I've learned the lesson now, I guess. 16 years too late. Better late than never. And what's this? A very long story. Really long indeed. Man, it's massive. Never ending story. There's at least 336 pages. The longest novel ever made. Too much for Ryan. And even more painting portrait goodness. What on earth are you wearing, madam? Honestly, Ryan looking distinctly Japanese there. Not sure how that mademoiselle is though. And what's this? let's not bother Ryan about that for the moment. A typewriter. Oh, I think our friend Ryan fancies himself as a bit of a novelist. What's his excellent novel? Well, I bet it's no The Cave, that's for sure. Did I never tell you, viewers? I wrote a novel when I was a child. Between the ages of about 8 and 11, I wrote a full-blown novel. Aye, maybe I'll get around to getting that. Maybe I'll get around to doing something with that at some point. I never published it, to my eternal regret, but the manuscript's right there. Any budding publishers out there think they want to get the hottest new material, want to get the hottest new book sensation, feel free to contact me to publish The Cave. So I'm sure you'll be certainly impressed by that. Ryan thinks his novel's a bit cheesy. Well, it's certainly not going to outdo The Cave then, is it? Which is all that matters in this discussion. What's in our parents' room? Oh, Ryan's a good boy. He's not going to rummage through his parents' chests. What did you think that was? Except he is. A bit of moral inconsistency there from Ryan, but I guess that's what you've come to expect from somebody whose title is literally undecided. Yeah, that the little label you can put next to someone's name in RPG Maker, Ryan's is undecided. Great stuff. But, well, I already spoiled what Ryan's going to end up being in this game earlier on. But let's just hold off the suspense a bit and talk to our father. Oh dear, but Ryan's got one of those fathers. Aye, our friend Ryan's finished with all that school, finished with school, all that studying nonsense, all that garbage, going to classes and sitting at desks and writing things. Finally done with, he wants nothing more than to just lounge about and have a nice time. But his dad's saying, no, none of that, kid. You'd better start deciding what your career is at once. Jeez Louise, Dad. Ryan just finished school. Unfortunately for our friend Ryan, his father manages to get him to agree to decide his entire life, to decide his entire life objectives, life's goals by the end of the summer. Man, it'd be nice if life worked like that. Just decide everything you're ever going to do that matters over the course of a summer after you've just left school. Well, then again, I suppose maybe that actually does happen a lot more than we'd expect. I mean, it was around about that time in my life when I first thought of making a film. And, well, then we ended up with Team Sponkel, so I guess everything went pretty much the exact opposite of the way I just was implying things normally go. But never mind. Just heading to the bathroom. Just head into the bathroom. But Ryan doesn't need to go, so we'll just leave again. There's nothing here. And what's this? Barren looking room. Oh, it's Ryan's grandfather. Don't know what the crates and barrels are doing in this room, but well, I'm sure they have a purpose. Right. Oh, I want to play the... Wait, no! That thing might play a WAV file that'll crash the game. Forget that. Hey, Ma. Hey, I told you to talk to her from above, Ryan. And the game forced him to just move to the right of her, and if you want, and slightly shift his sprite backwards a few pixels. Oh yes, nothing gets past me, viewers, so that she could move into him. And back again. What kind of bizarre ritual was that? Man, these humans, I don't understand. So, aye. His mother wants him to have a home-cooked meal, but Ryan never has home-cooked meals. He'd rather be off eating at the cafe at Salvage World. Salvage World is pretty big in Terra, Love and War World. There's a Salvage World depot in every street corner. Little known fact for you. Eye of Newt? Oh man. Oh well, witchcraft seems to be what the kids are into these days. Ah, you crazy kids. Ah well, see, my exploring tendencies pay off once in a while. We got an item for checking every object in the house. One item. Alright, well I'm going to save the game, and there. Now we've saved, let's try playing the piano and see if anything goes disastrously badly. Oh good, it's a MIDI file. There's Ryan playing the piano. That's not the worst I've heard, Ryan. Wonder if Admiral Styles himself played that tune. And here we are in the lovely village of town, city, something of Davenport. Well, it's a port, I suppose. Port Town. There we are. Oh, and there's a person. Interesting. So, I hope you're ready for some conversations, gang, because Ryan has a lot of friends and people around. Ryan's got a lot of old friends around town who have quite a bit to say to him. Starting with Jenny here, just meditating beside the town fountain thing. And there's Mr. Anderson. Oh, one of his teachers. Rats, get out of there at once, Ryan. Don't want to talk to your teachers. Ugh. You've left school, you don't have to deal with these bozo the clowns again. Oh, so Ryan is valedictorian, which, being British, that should mean nothing to me, but America being what it is, I've learned some rough idea that it basically is, it's what we would call, it's what we in Britain would call the ducks. Yes, really. Yeah, the ducks. No, I'm not joking, you twerps. The ducks. It means that the person that did the best at the classes in the final year. So Ryan was the best student of his entire class. Aye, Ryan is a clever clogs and a half, no questions. But Ryan was a bit of a troubled child, it seems. He didn't do his reports. Maybe it was because he wasn't challenged enough, Mr. Anderson suggests, but Ryan seems to have some other rather uncomfortable reasons, it would seem. Doesn't really want to discuss right now. I can't imagine what those reasons could possibly involve. Right, enough of this nonsense. We've done enough talking and cutscening for this game. Let's get out of town and fight some monsters or something. Oh, except Ryan feels that he just wants to spend the whole day just wandering about town and talking to people. Well, alright, fine. Play it your way, game. And who's this Elvis lookalike that shows up in every RPG Maker game? Huh? What are you talking about? Condone her behaviour? What she did? What are you talking about, you twerps? I feel like that guy that's just sort of standing there when two people that know each other have a conversation. But I don't know what they're talking about. They know I don't know what they're talking about. I feel awkward about the fact that I don't know what they're talking about. They know that I feel awkward about what I'm talking about. They know that I know that they know that I know that I feel awkward about what they're talking about. And, what was I talking about? Well, the point is that guy was talking about some female that did something bad to Ryan. I can't imagine what that could possibly be. Can't imagine what that could be referring to in the slightest, in any conceivable manner. Alright, so who else has got some problems they want to spill their guts off of Ryan with? Some person here wants to do something. Ryan suggests they see the Colonel, who might give them some combat ting. Right, so anyone else around here wants to spill their guts to Ryan about their life's problems? Jeez Louise! What is Ryan, the local shrink around here? Everybody just lays off their chest on the man. I mean, sheesh, it's not like Ryan hasn't got any problems. Well, actually, apparently Ryan doesn't have any problems. He's just left school, he's happy, he's just going to have a pleasant time all around, and there is nothing, no niggling, deep, heart-wrenching issues that Ryan has in his own life. Well, Archon Holmes here. Yes, I noticed, Styles. Wants to get out of his ridiculous-looking orange army recruit uniform, and Ryan tells him to petition the local government person. I'm sure that they'll do something. All right, who's up next then? Who else wants to complain about how they can't collect stamps in an efficient manner under the Commonwealth's new Bobby Dazzler? What? It's Bobby Dazzler? Cheap as chips. The real deal. Etc. Oh. We've already determined that Ryan didn't used to be the smartest kid in the tool shed, but in his final year of school he just finally decided to act. Also, Henrik was the best in the class, and Ryan did not want Henrik to be the best in the class, so he became best in the class. Oh, what's this, Jaina? What, you're trying to ask Ryan if he's got problems? What, somebody that's concerned about Ryan for once? Oh, what? Oh, he does have a problem, apparently. Some gossip spread about something terrible that happened to Ryan. Aye, good friend. That's right, good friends. Yeah, nothing more than friends. Jaina suggests going for a picnic with Ryan. Aye, friends. Certainly. Ryan's happy talking to his good friend Jaina, and being completely oblivious about the fact that Jaina obviously wants to be more than friends. Oh yeah, this is the time when people leave school. That's about the time that kids start thinking about going to university, isn't it? Aye. Although, well, I mean, these days, at least in Britain, they expect us to have literally applied and received our place at university 1 year before we leave school. Man, what a society. Keep your rocks off. I mean, what? Just hold the horses there. What? Hold your horses, adults. Let us, like, at least wait until... At least... Why can't we just apply, like, and then a week later start the course? What is it with this world? And then if you like, have the grades already from your fifth year, your second last year of school, then they might give you an unconditional offer. But if you don't have the grades yet, they'll give you a conditional one, which means you've got to do one more year, and if you get enough good grades in the subjects, then they'll consider and they'll let you in. As if kids aren't under enough pressure. Honestly, there's nobody in this planet under more pressure and having more trouble in the... There's nobody in this planet that is under more pressure and has more problems in life than children. I'm serious. I mean, kids have a hard time. Everyone expecting them to do and be everything. Think about their future, think about their present, think about their past, do this, do that, do these things and don't question them, have these things and don't think about them. Know everything and everything except that you can't possibly know everything because you're just a child that hasn't had a chance to learn or do everything. Jeez Louise, everyone! That's Ryan just wants to get away from all that stuff for once. He just wants to get away from having to think hard about things and deal with problems. He just wants to walk around town and talk to people and deal with the problems. Oh well. Moving on. Aye. You know something though? One of the main things that was updated in this latest version of Love and War Act 1 was the graphics. Almost all of the maps from the original version of the game have been heavily overhauled, and I mean they've retained largely the same structure. The basic layout is the same, but they've been the tile sets, if you will, the chip sets, the what the stuff looks like has changed a lot. This Davenport place here looked a lot different in the original version. Again, the layout of the town was the same. It's just that the graphics of the things in it look different. Like the grass there is a different looking grass from the grass that was in the old one, and the houses there are quite different from the originals. What do I prefer? Oh, I don't know. I won't lie, I kind of had a soft spot for the original game's amateur looking maps. Also, the original version of this Davenport here, instead of playing this lovely tune that accompanies us as we walk about listening to all these people's anxieties and life concerns, was one of the generic stock RPG Maker tunes that everybody really hated, and it just kept playing all the time as you were walking around talking to people. I can't actually remember off the top of my head what that tune was. Brother, this is getting a bit ridiculous now, I must say. I'd like to get out of the town and fight a monster or something, do something RPG-like. I mean, sheesh, what is this? Ryan lives in a town of nothing but people that just want to talk to him about their personal life problems and have Ryan solve them for them. Man, if I wanted to play an RPG where 3/4 of the game was just talking to people about their stupid problems, well, I suppose I would play this. Right, who else? Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe it's time we had a frank and open, honest discussion about the stock RPG Maker tunes, because those things got some bad press back in the day. You see, the RPG Maker program came equipped with a whole bunch of default graphic tile sets you could use, which is to say the blocks that you made up the maps from, the grass and the concrete and the bricks and stuff. It had a bunch of default sprites, like our hero Alex, that you've seen a whole bunch of times already if you've been watching this series. He's got a bandana, and brown hair, and a blue-white uniform thing. And one of the default bunches of things that came with the stuff was the music, was the default music. There was a whole library of default tunes, and I really liked most of those tunes, to tell you the truth. I mean, people got bored seeing RPGs made with them, because the way it goes when you've got stock things, everybody uses them, so you just hear them all the time, and it gets a bit samey. But they were well composed tunes. Especially. Although there were some of them that were just a bit weird. But by and large, they were just pleasant to listen to. They conveyed the emotions they were trying to convey, that the stock, generic emotions. They conveyed them so well that lots of people used a lot of these songs in their games, and they still fit perfectly. Even one of the most famous, perhaps the most famous RPG Maker series ever made, so famous that I dare say it's quite possible that people outside the RPG Maker community have maybe heard of it. It used some of the default stock RPG Maker tunes. Nobody turned an eye. Nobody batted an eyelid. And perhaps I'll finally get around, and perhaps I will cover that series one day. But if that's the case, it's going to be a very long day, because that is one long series of longness. Although, as you'll also be discovering eventually, gang, Love and War Act 1 is also a rather long series too. A series of one game, but yeah, it's pretty long. But aye, the stock RPG Maker music. There was something about those. There's just a charm to all the stock RPG Maker stuff. There's something classic about all of those things. I just love. I mean, there's something classic about this entire programming language now, but that's hardly the point, is it? There were some of the stock RPG Maker tunes, like certain battle victory tunes, for example, where it was a short, like 5-second long ditty, but when it ended, but when that little ditty ended, then it didn't repeat, because you see, RPG Maker tunes are set to repeat the music file when it reaches the end, but the battle victory tunes, some of them did the little tune and it just was silent, and it just stayed silent. You could stay in the screen and you could stay and not leave the battle screen for minutes on end, it would still be silent. But if you played the music file, in Windows Media Player or something, then it was only like 5 seconds long. It wasn't just that they made the 5-second tune and then 2 hours of silence after it. No. Always puzzled me why that happened. The system must have just been built to special those. We'll talk about favouritism. Anyway, I reckon that Ryan is finished, and so are we. Cheerio. Ever since that he was given as a tiny